Nottingham Forest have finally been linked with a winger who is actually really good. Let's give you all the details. Welcome to your Forest transfer news. Good morning, good evening, or good night. Hope you guys are doing well, and welcome to your latest Nottingham Forest transfer news. Coming up, we'll talk to you about the 23-year-old who's been linked with Forest, but we will be under heavy competition to get his signature. If you're enjoying the video, please don't forget to hit the like button. Subscribe to Forest Fan TV if you are new. And let's just jump straight into this one because I'm quite excited by this player. And this player is none other than Cyril Ngonge, who I'm guessing maybe some of you have not heard of before. Plays in Italy for Verona, who are in the relegation zone, but he is their standout player. And this guy is a right winger who can play as a cam, but ideally is more suited to the right. Thing is, he is heavily left-footed. Even though he has a decent right foot, he tends to always want to cut in, deliver the in-swinging cross, or have that finesse shot from the edge of the box. But on top of that, he is pacey and he is extremely skillful. Like step over merchant, cut in merchant, flick merchant, all this stuff. Even scores overhead goals and everything like that. There's so much to like about him. He's only 23 years old, from Belgium. Maybe he's mates with Mangala, who knows. But what I really like about him is his vision. Something that we don't do a lot of at Nottingham Forest is ball switching from one wing to the other. And something that Cyril does really well is always looks and has a good idea about the shape of the attack, where the space is and everything, and has this lovely crossfield ball where he switches it across from the right to the left wing. Now, in terms of his weaknesses, it is what I said. He over-favors cutting in onto his left foot, even though he always plays on the right-hand side, well, more times than not. But overall, at 23 years old, this guy for me is a bit of a player. The problem is there are plenty of clubs interested in him. Let me list a few of them for you. Villa, Fiorentina, AC Milan, Napoli, all these kind of clubs are sniffing around after Cyril. But will Forest be able to pull him in with the lure of the Premier League? And in terms of his cost, he is valued at about 6 million. But there's no way in hell Verona are going to go for that. They're looking at over 10 million, probably somewhere in between 11 and 13 million. But at his age, at 23, not even in the prime of his footballing career, he is going to make it. I can feel it. He's a good player. I'd love him at Forest. Am I confident we're going to get him? Not really. Okay, so that's the background on Cyril, but what we want to do is something more fun and more interactive, and this comes with our good friends from Sofascore. Make sure you download their app. The link's in the description, or you can get your camera out and just scan that QR code, and please do it. It's completely free, and your mind will be blown by the amount of stats you can get on this. So we're going to bring up the old Wolverine phone right now, and let's have a look. And yes, that is my actual phone. Look, and when I press on Sofascore, boom, up she pops. Technology these days is amazing. I'll talk you through a bit about the app, but let's start with Cyril. So if you hit on the top right button there, you can search for any player. Just search for their name at the top. Up will come Cyril for us. Yeah, there we go, Cyril Ngonge. And this gives you some fascinating stats about him. So you can see he's 23 years old. He's just under 6 foot. Preferred left-footed from Belgium. Forward position, even the shirt number 26. Very interesting. But this is what I like here. It's got his valuation. As I said to you, it's 5 million. But Verona are looking for in excess of 10, 11 million. So it's all about what the market will pay for him. Now, attacking wise is his best stat. Technically, he's decent. Creatively, he's decent. But what you can do on Sofascore is actually compare him to players, your favorite player. So for me, of course, it's going to be Morgan Gibbs-White. So let's get Morgan up here and it should overlay. And you can see they're very similar in terms of their strengths and weaknesses. Only a few points out here and there. Very similar attackingly, not too bad, massive difference in terms of creativeness, and technically very similar. But obviously, Cyril will operate wide on the right-hand side. And we can then go and look at his heat map with one swipe to the right. Guys, you've got to download this app. It's completely free. And you help the channel out for free. How good is that? And let's have a look at his heat map. As you can see, most of his work happens on that right-hand side wing, and it's high up the pitch, which is what I really love. Remember, he's playing for Verona, who are in a relegation battle. So he's still progressing really high up the pitch. This is why I really like him. And in terms of the games he's played, he's had 18 games this season, started 16, he's scored 5 goals. You can get all the details, any of those stats that you quite like, have a look into them in more depth. Assist-wise, he's had 2 as well. So overall, I'm really interested in this player. Do I think Forest will be able to get him? Not so sure. The competition is quite high, but I am going to get excited by it. Now, just one more thing to do on this app while you've got it open. Just go to your favorites, edit your favorites there, and of course, you're going to follow the greatest team in the Premier League, which is Nottingham Forest. This will give you all the score alerts, all the news on everything on Forest. Just make sure that you receive all notifications for it, and you are nicely set to go on Sofascore. So let me know your thoughts on Cyril down below. Will you take him at Forest or not? And if you've downloaded the app, let me know in there what his XG is per game. Let me know that one in the comments down below. Let's move on. All right, so as I said to you at the start of the video, Forest are definitely ramping up their interests in wingers. Now, this one doesn't excite me at all. I'll just bring it to you. We've already spoken about him in depth before, and that is, of course, Ivan Alejo, the guy who I feel like has literally done nothing in his career so far. 28 years old. He's very cheap. That's the best I can give you on him. And if you want to see the videos on him, obviously go check the channel out from before where we've spoken about it. But I'll tell you what, just for the fun of it, let's bring him up on Sofascore and let's see what Sofascore have to say about him. So we'll search for Alejo, Ivan Alejo. And yeah, you can see just from the pentagraph, he's not very good, is he? And then if we look across to his heat map, again, predominantly right-sided, does more defensive work in there. And in terms of games, 17 with no goals. And if we look at assists, 2 in total. He's just not it for me. You guys have a little gander in the app and have a look to see what you think of him. But for me, if I had to choose between him and Cyril, it's Cyril every single time. So who would you guys go for? Let me know in the comments down below. Okay, so the next item on the agenda is about one of my all-time favorite Forest players, and that is Andy Reid, who, after Nuno has brought in his backroom staff, Andy Reid was still in the Forest fold and not quite gotten rid of. We've seen the likes of obviously Cooper go, Tate, etc. But it looks like Andy Reid is going to be staying, but being pushed into the academy program. So he'll be managing in there rather than with Nuno in the first team. And look, I loved Andy Reid as a player. He broke my heart when he went to Spurs, man, out of all the clubs. And obviously he came back and I loved him again. But as an assistant manager, can I hand on heart say that he has made a huge impact on this Forest team? The honest answer is I don't know. I don't know. But I don't feel like the backroom staff was Premier League ready. Him, Tate, even Stephen Reid, who I really do like. I don't know if they've made that impact having jumped up to Premier League level. So Andy Reid staying in the club, I'm all for it. In the academy setup, I think he will be really good. I'm sure a lot of the youth players would look up to him as a Forest, well, would we say legend? Would you call him a legend? I don't know. Let me know in the comments down below. Obviously, my Reedy goggles are very tainted towards him. But I'm happy he's staying. It's not been confirmed yet, but that's the stories breaking right now on Andy Reid. And that brings you up to date with your latest Nottingham Forest transfer news and news. If you haven't already, please do go and download Sofascore. We only team up with stuff that we think will benefit you guys as a community. We'll never do things like betting apps or alcohol related stuff. So to support us, And I know I ask you guys a lot and you always come through. It's completely free, so please do make sure you download it. In fact, if you've downloaded it, let me know in the comments down below. Just type the word download or Sofascore. Thank you so much for watching. If you haven't already, please do hit that like button. Subscribe to Forest Fan TV if you are new. And we'll see you on the next video. Come on, you Reds.